classification of contracts. By this we mean, is the contract valid, is the contract void, or is the contract voidable? Let's take a look at the differences. A valid contract is fully binding and enforceable in a court of law. It's binding on both parties. It meets all the legal requirements and contains all of the essential contractual elements that are required for a binding and enforceable contract. So highlight what a valid contract is. It meets all legal requirements, contains all the essential elements, and it is binding and enforceable in court. And it's binding on both parties. Then we've got a contract that is no contract at all. A void contract. It has no legal effect. It's unenforceable by either party. Why is it void? It lacks one or more of the essential elements of a valid contract. For example, an oral contract to purchase real estate. We know that's not allowed. Another one is, that's a good one that you might see, the use of a property somehow becomes illegal. You know, you're buying a single family home and you're under contract and all of a sudden it says, hey, you can't build this, you can't occupy it. It no longer can be used as a single family home. So now the contract to buy a property as a home is a contract for an illegal purpose. One of the essential elements of a contract, it must be for a legal purpose. All right, the contract is void, unenforceable. It's an ex-contract. It's no longer a contract. Here's the one that gives students a little bit of challenge. It's the voidable. I've gotten a lot of emails from students on this. It's voidable. What is that? Well, it isn't valid and it's not void. It's voidable. Could be valid, might be void. What happens is one party has done something, harmed the other party. That generally puts the harmed party in a position where they can go forward with the contract or they can terminate the contract without any type of damages to the person who terminates the contract. Voidable contract looks valid, but one party may disaffirm because the party is a minor or was subject to duress, fraud, or misrepresentation. All right? Especially the minor. That's the one I want you to have in your memory bank. What kind of contract is voidable? A contract with a minor. Why? Because you have to have competent parties to enter into a contract. Both parties must be competent. What does that mean? 18, sane, and sober. So a contract with a minor, the minor can say, let's go ahead, I want to buy the property. Or the minor anytime could say, you know what, I'm done. Contract's voidable. Don't fight it, just go with it. A contract with a minor is voidable. Could go forward, doesn't have to go forward. The minor is the harmed party because you entered into a contract with someone who wasn't 18. Likewise, duress, fraud, or misrepresentation. Nobody can be forced into a contract. That would make the contract voidable. If a person was under duress or was, let's say that the seller didn't make a disclosure. Buyer goes, you know what? I'm going to cancel. All right? The contract's voidable because there was misrepresentation involved. Or, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go forward. All right? Even though there was misrepresentation involved, I'm going to go ahead. Could be valid, could be void. The disadvantaged party may take legal action to cancel the contract. So valid, fully enforceable. Void, unenforceable. Voidable could be enforceable, or one party can cancel the contract because that party is a minor, or there was duress, fraud, or misrepresentation. Take a look at a graphic and kind of redo that review again. Contract review, valid, it's an enforceable contract, it's a valid contract. You want valid contracts. You need to know what those essential elements are so you know that the purchase agreements and so forth that your clients are entering into are valid and enforceable. Has all the essential elements. A void contract is unenforceable. It lacks one of the essential elements of a contract. Okay? Somebody tries to get the contract enforced, they go to law, the court says the contract is void. This court declares the contract void. It lacks an essential element, and this court declares that contract void. Then there's the voidable contract. Could be valid, could be void. Why? Because one of the parties of the contract is a minor, or a person signed not under their own free will. They were forced or coerced, or they were lied to, misrepresentation, fraud, etc. Voidable contract.